6/12, we're opening up the June 25th, 2013 Board of Water Commissioners meeting. Present are Roy Ricker, Stu Dalzell, Tim Toomey, John Reza, the superintendent, Mr. Jack Cook, selectman, Ms. Snow, the Finance Committee, Larry, Laura, Hamilton, business manager. First order of business is accept the minutes of June 18, 2013. Is there anything on the minutes that, any concerns? Do I have a motion? Second? All in favor? Aye. Second order of business is signed purchase orders. We have a tie sales bill here. $1,984.
This was on 2 projects.
12 of them?
Yeah.
Was that for down here on Lower Main Street?
In the country club,
Yeah.
Georgia lot is, we're gonna need a lot more, but that's gonna hold us over.
Okay.
They're selling the country club and it needs meters. Those are just the bodies, since we had the heads already. So
Okay.
you know,
Do we have any in stock?
no,
We don't have any, we don't run a stock on that inventory?
Not the boards, we have heads,
Yeah.
lots of heads from the change up.
Okay.
We use them for bodies.
Okay. Do we need more for in stock?
We're going to
Okay.
get through this year's
Are they giving us a good price on it? Have they gone up in their pricing?
Not up at all? I don't think so.
it's the same price that we had when we were doing the,
Change up.
yeah, the heads. We had to buy some bodies, and they kept the same price.
So this goes on, this is the last purchase order that goes on this past fiscal year, or?
Yeah, we
We
still have a
have-
few more days, so I don't know. I don't know what else is gonna come up. We have until next Tuesday, and then we have another round, POs for FY 13.
13 or 14?
Well, we got one right now in front of you for 14, but that's our first one.
Okay. Yeah, just one. Okay, what's this here? All right, the next order is interview seasonal labor, Jerry Hubby. John and Laura, that we've been able to talk to him.
He's been playing telephone with them, so
So is he back in
he
town?
said he's back in town.
Okay. So we need to get him on, and we've been trying to get this position filled. How do you guys want to handle it?
If they can't get hold of them tomorrow, I suggest that we We asked Laura to get 3 phone quotes, and then landscaper, just around the homes, and some items.
Okay.
For a one-time thing or for the season or what?
For one time thing, see how it goes and see what we can do for arrangements.
Okay, so we've got that as a backup. So if we can't get a hold of him by tomorrow,
Okay.
we need to get somebody that address this problem we have. If he should happen to call and he's interested in the position, what I think we ought to do, since we all know him, and we need a need for him, we'll just, if John could bring him in and see if he's still interested in the position as a temporary seasonal laborer, that he, maybe hire him on the spot.
Yeah, for a year and a half, we know what he does.
Yeah,
That's
talking
for now.
for 3 months, July, August, and September.
Yeah.
I think it is sometime in September, I'm not sure the date, but it is in September.
So if we can't get a hold of him and get him committed, John, you have to line that up. We can't get that thing done, we need to get Laura mobilized to get some quotes to handle this need. One time only, so that position is open until filled. Okay? Any questions on that? Or can I have a motion that we let John hire that person if he's interested? Because,
I'm all set.
okay, we have a motion, we have a second.
To go beyond the latter part of September.
I think it's near the end, but I'm not sure of the exact date, but it is September sometime, I believe, isn't it? I'm not sure, I know it's in the thing right in downtown. You know, that they gave us a date for when we could hire them.
We have a budget for that too, don't we, Laura?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, we have a budget, we're just gonna follow the budget too. So I have a second on, offering him the position, if he takes it immediately.
I'll second that. And like I said, we'll get over tomorrow.
Okay.
Laura will get 3 phone quotes.
All in favor? Aye. All right, the next order is review and revise job description for administrative assistant. We have an administrative assistant position, and it's got a job description, and we want to make sure that that meets our needs over here. So, Mr. Dalzell agreed to look at it and see if, and talk with the staff to see if, we really need all those duties for that particular position. And you're familiar with the position, We'd like to get your input on it. What do you,
Sue and I met a few days ago, Stu, and I started to revise. There is a draft job description in there, kind of changing some of the job around and the experience needed. But I did talk with Doreen today. She said that we also had to see if the board wanted to vote to ask Debbie to repost whatever job it is that you want to, or how, I don't know how you want to go about this, if you're changing it.
well, I think the problem we're having is we're not getting enough candidates to make a selection.
Okay.
And so if we look at the job description and make it more tailored toward an administrative assistant position, then we might have more candidates that would qualify for it. So, in the spirit of trying to get the position filled with enough candidates to look at, what I would suggest we do is modify the language in draft form, attach it to the former, or the existing job description, and let's get into the personnel board for their review.
qualified already. In that package.
Yeah. Well, that's a good point.
She lives in town, that's
I know.
3 years. And she's very weak.
So I did receive that this week, and with your permission, I was going to forward it back down to Debbie. I haven't given it to her yet.
I think we ought to have her look for it.
Well, we can't do that until we get the job description. See if it's acceptable to the person on board.
No, what do we actually have drawn? I mean, we didn't have anything extra in it, right?
Well, let's look, you want to go through it? Let's go through it. This is this copy in here, is this the,
Actual one that I have on file.
Okay.
And then I attached the draft one that I started working on.
What are the differences between this and the draft?
So basically, it was focusing more on the day-to-day operations and the job requirements, and the experience, and the college degrees. But I don't know if it has to change titles. That's where I didn't know how that job description was created, John. I don't know.
so I think there's a thing about college in there. That, short courses. Training courses. Did you find anything there that you thought was,
I had a couple of questions here, but I would like to discuss it with the administrator.
Didn't we change this, Laura, and say it was working for the water superintendent and the business manager?
So I went back to the notes and the position reports to the business manager and I report to the superintendent.
Okay.
But I can change it if you want to go back to that.
Well, what I would think we should proceed on right now is to, you have the draft,
It's attached. See, I wasn't sure if they wanted to change the title. I don't know how that would work.
Did you look at the change, still? Water billing clerk versus,
I would like to run this by the administrator.
Thanks, Brady.
why don't we,
I don't know, what do we do with the degree?
why don't we do this? Why don't we, I make a motion that we get Stu to go and talk with the administrator, the town administrator, and if necessary, the personnel board, and review this job description for our needs at the department. Do we have a second?
Second.
Stu, Roy seconded it. All in favor?
Aye.
So, Stu, you'll go to see the town administrator and then get this thing over to the, if need be, the personnel board.
Be glad to.
And we can get this thing going here. So then we have, the other positions are the primary and the secondary operator. I think the last meeting, didn't we table that discussion? Do we have any more feelings about hiring primary or secondary operator?
My pick would be
Still?
I'd like to table it for a little longer. I've only been here a month.
Okay, so let's table it to the next meeting.
Until we see what direction we're heading.
Okay. Let's table it, we'll discuss it at the next meeting. All right, old business, outstanding bills for the department, review warrant, Seacoast lock and instant alarm. Okay, so we got Seacoast, the two invoices from Seacoast and instant alarm. Seacoast, in the interest of working with the department, has discounted his bills 10%. So there was one bill of $1,701 that was, we needed to do security locks in the office. So that happened last January. Also, we have the blocks from last fall. I want your input. What do you think about passing this uptown?
Can I see the read it?
Instant alarm, is that bill in there? Mark?
Oh, yeah.
I said last week I would stay out of this. However, after thinking about this, I did not hire this gentleman. You did not get 3 quotes because you felt it was an emergency. However, the gentleman did the work, and I think he should be paid, so therefore, I'll say.
Okay, instant
To get
alarm.
these things behind us.
I think we need to move it forward.
Exactly.
The stuff is obviously performed, it's here. It's an asset to the town.
The one day when we changed all the blocks, yeah.
Well, it was a necessity.
That was a necessity after what was going on here.
No, so we're stuck.
And they were here within hours.
We're stuck. So we need to get this thing moving. Instant alarm. You can't have part of the building alarmed. You have to have the whole building alarmed. Defeats the purpose of an alarm, so we have to go with that too. So, in the interest of moving this forward, I'm recommending that we sign this warrant too. So. You want to put a vote forward? Second?
Second.
All in favor?
I'd like to suggest, before this kind of money is spent again, unless it's a real emergency, we should talk it over as a board. I realize you want to give access to the wall.
The main ones too, back in January, we had a break, we'll see that. We thought it was appropriate to, change it.
Okay. There are other couple of outstanding bills that aren't going to get paid, so we'll see what happens with those in the future months. All right, next order of business, a response from Weston and Sampson on change orders. They haven't responded in writing yet, so we're talking about maybe meeting with them before we, get some formal, action going on the change orders. So that we're not really there yet. Okay, so it's an update. Update on the gates. Last night we went out there, John and I, and John was successfully able to close those gates. Thank you, John. So, in order to bring the fire department equipment in, we need to have a secure area out back there. So we need to start locking those gates. So we need to close them every night and lock them.
Brought in some companies to look in, give us some ideas. Supposed to be some feedback, so
Well, we can
What's
use
wrong with
chain,
the chain and a padlock around.
We can do.
We get padlocks here?
Yeah, we have some option.
Well, we got chain. Let's get it done right away. So do I have a motion to say we close them gates up every day? And lock them? Roy makes the motion. Do I have a second? Any word from the manufacturer as far as a solution? To make those gates functional?
Not without tearing all down again. Reset the post.
Yeah, you said that?
I think there's another solution, so
Yeah.
waiting for somebody to put it from two companies. Yeah,
So when are they
They
coming?
had some ideas. They've been here,
Oh, they have?
and they're supposed to send some material.
How much cement did they put in?
They're down 5 feet, 6 feet.
Yeah, but I mean, how much cement is around?
I don't know exactly, I would say over 15 inches.
So they're that deep down there?
Yeah, they're pretty big.
Do we have a measurement on that? The designer, does he have a measurement on that specification?
I'll find out.
Even more of a square thing, too. Like,
They're not, they should be self-supporting on the pipe.
It's
So
not like enough cement.
they might be rather difficult to open and close in the winter months. So what do we want the manufacturer to give us the specifications and how tall those posts are?
Yeah.
Nobody really measured them here, or did they?
I recommend.
Was our concrete truck come here and put cement in there?
Yeah.
Any of you fellows got any ideas?
Let's try and see if we can work them the way they are for now and go from there. I mean, I think it needs more of a square than the cement itself.
Well, maybe get the designer to comment on it. You know? So the motion would be to lock them gates up so we can secure that area. So if we had to move anything out for the fire department, then we have a secure area out back there to store the stuff, so. Okay?
Be sure the fire department has a key to the gate, to the locks.
Boxes up in front of the building.
Excuse me?
Boxes up in front of the building, there's a key receptacle.
Okay.
Have a key in there. Nobody's around. Access it.
Okay. All right. Update fire hydrant.
So we got a call from Mark Emery, who said there was no problem with the fire hydrants. That, he just wanted to let the board know.
Okay.
So I don't know, just threw it out there for you. They didn't have any trouble opening, is what he said.
Okay.
So just want to give you an update on that.
I think the fire department did an excellent job controlling the fire.
Okay, the last item is an update on research on privatization of water department. Any updates?
I went to the selectmen's meeting that I said last week, in two members' absence, so I have to, I'll go next Monday, they didn't meet last night. And fight them all.
'cause I ran into, during my work, I ran into somebody that knows somebody from Whitewater. So I made a call to him to see if he'd be interested in coming into a meeting, discussing what we can offer. So he'd be interested in coming into one of our meetings.
Where they located to.
All over. Okay. Yeah. So he was heading down to New Jersey this week, so he couldn't make this meeting. So it's worth it to get him in here and listen and hear what they have to say. Did we get the budgets from Salisbury? From Mr.
No,
Lloyd?
I have not.
Okay. We're gonna probably get the budget from Salisbury and Topsfield. Okay.
Put that in the Salisbury budget this week.
I researched a few others.
Excuse me?
I said I researched a few others just because Tim had asked me to.
Yep.
You speak up those folks, not me.
Oh. So, Manchester, where I live, the population's 5,200.
What town?
Manchester, 43 miles of water main. 3 employees in distribution. And, 1 well in the reservoir. We have our company that runs the plant with the town.
Get privatized?
Semi. Most of these companies, when they come in, they don't want distribution. They want to run the treatment.
Yeah.
Very few of them do any distribution work.
Well, some of them,
They're not interested.
this company that I have talked to, they'll do part of it or all of it, whatever the customer wants.
Yeah.
That's the same as the ones we had before.
Which, we've been through a few
What-
operational
What is
companies.
their budget?
Without the plant operations, 1.4 million. But, they own the debt because they already paid the plant.
What kind of plant they got, John?
I think it's slow sand filtration, but there was a hitch to it. Molecular bulk pump system. It's a little more advanced.
Any others that you come up with?
Hamilton, population 7,700. They have 5 wells, 1 plant. Very little, if any, shut that down. Minimal debt service. They're about 1 million.
There's 7,700 residents.
7,700.
What kind of treatment plant they got?
I think this is green sand manganese.
So it's a sand filtration unit, but they use green sand?
Yeah.
Okay.
Essex, a little smaller, 3,500 people, 3 wells, 1 plant. Their debt is about 300K a year, and their budget runs $1 million.
How many employees in the Salisbury, in the Hamilton operation?
You know, I'm not entirely sure. Some of these are public works organizations. It's tough to find apples from apples in this type of business. Some are rolled in and subsidized with DBWs, some of them are standalone.
Yeah.
Some are water and sewer departments combined. It's tough to find exact matches.
Okay.
And then I looked at Georgetown. There's 8,000 employees,
Resident.
population. 3 wells, 1 plant, 1.5 million and about 100,000 in debt. And I'm just going off the annual reports on the websites. You know, I can figure financial statements and got information that I could find.
Does she have many customers?
Well, I mean, there's 8,000 people, so
All right.
I don't know how you break that up into services, but it wasn't listed.
Well, can you call up the, these outfits and find out how many customers they have?
Yeah. Okay.
And also, can you do some research on who's got a Paul membrane?
God, right?
Even if it's out of state, John, I mean, just, we want to see what these other outfits are doing, what they have, budgets and stuff, so. We only want to do this once.
Yeah.
Probably if we're gonna do that, find one that's sucking out of the swamp like what we have, instead of, like garden that's coming out of a beautiful lake or river, whatever you wanna call it, out there.
I know.
I mean, that's gonna make a big difference in your chemicals, what you gotta have for chemicals, correct?
Right. That's what I mean. There's so many different styles.
No, but I mean, if we get somebody that's more, get the same thing that we're putting in, but coming out of the ground and not coming out of nice clear water like what Gardner was when we went out there.
Right. I made a list of some of the variables in different systems. You can see there's, I'm not going to say that systems are unique, but they're built to accommodate the conditions they encountered when they went looking for water. And it varies pretty widely.
Oh, I'm sure it does, but
And there's some similarities. I'm not saying they're all totally different, but and the way they operate them, some are districts, some are involved with Department of Public Works that subsidize part of their operations. Some are split, where the private company runs the treatment and the town does the distribution.
yeah.
Uh,
But they all have like operational budgets, regardless
Right,
of
it's
it's a
just-
public.
how it gets divvied up. You know,
Yeah,
Like some towns call in contractors to do their water main repairs just automatically.
yeah,
They don't do it. So therefore they're able to maintain 2 employees because you don't need a crew to do the underground work.
yeah.
I mean, we did a lot of underground work in those days. Usually it's 4 or 5 men in the job. And the machine, 1 a truck, 2 in the hole. It's just, it's tough work. Anyway.
Well, these companies or water districts, they have like a budget. Every year they got a budget, so they know what their operating expenses are. They tend to be nonprofit, and they do utilize contractors from time to time.
Right.
And so they might blow their budget, like we blow our budget sometimes on snow removal.
Yeah.
So there's numbers out there for these outfits, so,
There's averages.
yeah.
You can
The
share.
desirable thing would be to be able to compare apples to apples. If somebody out there had a polymer membrane with wells, that would be something that, I don't think Raleigh's gonna be unique on that. There's gonna be somebody out there, and they might be in upstate New York, I don't know.
Right.
This is not really rocket science, but they, if it was in, Schenectady or some of these other places, there must be, somebody you can contact there. So I don't know what resources you can tap, but, can you spend some time maybe with the manufacturer of the polymer membrane, find out where he has his plants that he's got to either service or provide expendables or whatever. And then if you go on that tack, you can find out who's got it, you know.
Yep.
Maybe Mr. Hargraves can help you out a little bit on that.
Also, John, when if you do find one of them, people get the same thing as us, just kind of find out, you know, what they were adding the chemicals, you know, what we have had to do so far, you know what I mean? Up to, you know, before they changed over. Good man, that's a big part of our budget in the chemicals. And especially in the last year or two, I mean, where we can keep putting more and more to do the same thing that used to do 3, 4, 5 years ago. Then.
Right.
That reminds me, on well 2, we use, we chlorinate that water.
Yes.
And we chlorinate the other wells too right now.
Yes.
But in the future, we're still gonna be chlorinated well 2.
Yes.
And that goes added to the system from the other 2 wells.
Yeah, it's basically to maintain a residual at the furthest end of your system,
Okay.
rather the furthest part of the piping system, like down the end of 1A or whatever. You want to see like a 0.2 out there.
Yeah.
That's what the state recommends.
So, we just converted over to a liquid dosing system for chlorine, right?
That
Chlorination.
No, that was for pH adjustment,
It's pH adjustment.
for the lead and copper.
Okay, so the powder that we had in that,
Was lime.
so is that going over to the other 2 wells for consumption, or what's going on with that?
Well, the other 2 wells are going to push into the plant.
Well, I know, but we're not gonna put the plant on until,
They wouldn't be converted prior to being connected to the plant.
So
They'll just become raw water stations.
right, so the expendables we're using, what happened to them?
The
The
lime.
powder of lime, yeah.
We're still using it.
Okay, so is that
So
going over to the other 2 wells in the interim? Do we need that
Wasn't
powder
much
line?
left at well 2. We pretty much ran it
We kind of ran it down.
Okay, so
But of course, any of the extras went over.
we don't use those chemicals over at well 2 and 5, or well 3 and 5?
Sure,
Sure we can.
sure. The line, we would have moved it over. if
Oh,
we had
okay.
extra.
Yeah.
I'm just asking a question whether or not we
Yeah.
move that stuff over.
We can, remove most of it when they started the construction.
Okay. All right, I'm just curious. All right, so is there any other pressing issues? Motion to close the meeting?
Well, do you want to talk about that warrant there, John? What do you want to do?
Oh,
with
your,
it?
thing request I was talking about.
Oh, okay, so this is a warrant?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's that for?
This is for the plant.
So we have a schedule of department. You want to explain this to us, John? What's to these two documents?
These are the pay records,
Right,
the first one.
they're all the same. They're just copies that have to go to the state. Those are all just copies.
Yes, and then this one is the, that also goes to
Right.
this. That's not right.
Well, it looks that way, huh?
It's a summary.
Hmm.
Yeah. So the additions are 19,000 to this application for certificate of payment. It was -8, I don't understand this.
The 84 deduction with 19.
So that's the change orders.
Right.
The 19 is the builder's risk insurance.
These were already processed, weren't they?
Right.
Yes.
So what do you need from the board?
I just wanted you to know that I was concerned.
Okay. Well, they good enough to sign?
Yep. Check them out. John actually looked them over.
Okay.
You go through
And do we have to sign anything?
it. Just the warrant, right?
I don't think I've ever seen these before, but maybe I have, Laura, do you know?
Yeah, you see them with every warrant.
These things are with every
They're
one?
With every warrant, yeah.
This is the same one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. and the front.
So why is there 4 copies?
Because we have to give, John has to sign them all with your permission tonight, so we can distribute them. And then we have a copy that will go to accounting.
Well, before John, I'm kind of confused. This is like a superintendent thing, isn't it?
Yes.
So why wouldn't you sign it and say, recommend that you sign it? Is that what you're doing tonight?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want the board to be aware of how the paperwork flows.
Okay, so you're satisfied with this?
Yes.
Okay. And so there are 4, you're gonna sign all 4?
Yeah.
4 or 5.
Well, there's one with us, yeah.
And there's one for our copy?
They all have to be signed, John.
And yes.
Right, and that has to be signed also.
So once again, this one here concerns what, change orders what?
So that one includes change order 4,
Just change order 4.
and that's the only one we executed as of today. We're still working on change order 5.
Okay, what's wrong with 5?
That will be on the next, I believe John Highgraves is going to be meeting with you about the time extension.
Mhm.
The Board of Selectmen approved it and you approved it, but we're still talking about the time extension.
I thought there was a time extension on 4 and 5, wasn't there?
There's a 5-day extension on 4,
Okay,
and Kinsman asked for 29 days on change order 5. Weston and Sampson agreed to 19, and the Board of Water Commissioners said 0.
mhm,
So I sent the email to Weston and Sampson to execute change order 5 based on the Board of Water Commissioners 0.
mhm.
And at today's meeting, there was a discussion with John Highgraves and Jean Connor, and they're gonna sit down and go through, that time extension one more time, and then I believe John Highgraves is going to make a new recommendation to the Board of Water Commissioners. We'll bring it back to the Board of Selectmen, and hopefully get change order 5 executed by the end of July.
Okay. Now, with, usually there's an explanation from Barbara on these
There
things.
is, I have that on my, did I attach that here, right here? Right here,
Okay.
there's that. Yeah.
I
Huh? Yeah. Are you keeping track of the clerk of the recs up down there as far as the time he's been down there?
What, do you get timesheets from them?
Yeah, just wondering, do you on top of that at all, or?
Well, I get down there, but I'm not there all the time.
Yeah. How much time is clerk of the works put on a week there?
30,
32 hours.
32 hours.
32 hours? Okay.
These books in the pump stations.
You get initial
Sign up.
tag,
Okay. Have a motion to close the meeting?
I'll make that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Second.